This conference will now be recorded.
Right. In the last class, we have discussed about what are the advantages we have over our DBMS systems, why these products are getting popularized, right? We have discussed about schemaless design, we discussed about availability, we discussed about scalability, we have discussed open source products and all that, and the maintenance wise also how it can be done kind of. So that on all are the major factors why these products are getting implemented in the market. And this product MongoDB especially, it is a multi-platform compatibility product. It runs on Unix platform, it runs on like a Windows platform, it runs on Mac OS platform, it runs on almost all platforms. In fact, it is an open source and multi-platform compatibility product. So mostly it is preferable to run on Unix platforms than Windows platform. So we do have all our servers on CentOS in our environment. So most of the people actually I know that from this class, they are from non-Linux people. So that's why I wanted to cover the Unix basics first, next today and tomorrow on the 2.5 classes. In fact, then we will move towards the installation, Mongo architecture and all that. Okay, we're going to see that all of that. So here, first thing is first, like if at all I wanted to run this Unix flavor, so how do I get the environment first, right? So I'm going to give the environment readily available in my Google Drive. I'm going to share the link where you can download the VMware. Okay, and then you can download the Unix OS already installed. It is a zip file, it is a kind of OS. You just load it, install the VMware, and then it'll ask the keys you have to supply, and then you have to extract the zip file and you just mount it. So how do you get the file when you mount it? So just for the sake case of discussion, guys, I guess I kept somewhere Unix machines in my laptop. Technical VMs here, maybe here, right? So if you look at the files look like this, when you extract it looks exactly like this. What you do, you install the VMware, whatever I'm going to share today after the class. So once you install the VMware, you go to the open file. You see the open file here, and then you browse the directory where the VMs are, and then directly you can mount it. In fact, you don't need to install here. Anyway, I'm going to connect one-on-one. Once you pay the fees, I'm going to prepare the environment, entire environment, and like I'm going to show that how you connect through the mobile extreme tool. So putty is a basic tool to connect to the Unix flavors, but the problem with that is every time you open a session, you need to open another shell kind of thing every time. With the mobile external tool, this is what I use in my live environment also. So I can create a number of sessions in a single tool, like I can open multiple sessions on the same server. I can work parallelly on multiple things, or else I can work on multiple servers at the same time. This tool is so good actually to work with the Unix flavors. So this tool also we have to install and then connect internally. How do you connect? How you are running the like Unix server on the VMware, connecting from this tool. There is a configuration required behind the scenes that anyway I'm going to cover when we connect one-on-one. I'll give the link after the class, this link where you can download all of this, and then we will, once you pay the fees, we will connect and configure everything. Okay, so for now what we're going to do, we're going to go through the Unix basic commands. I know that some people are from Linux background, some people are non-Linux background, non-Unix background. So I wanted to bring everyone onto the same page and then start the product anyway. Just follow through. If you have any questions, we will discuss anyway as we go on. Maybe if you already working on the Unix flavor, just bear with me for today and tomorrow. Then we will go in towards the Mongo side purely. Okay. So first, let's go with the basic commands. What is a command? In fact, command is an instruction given by a user telling a system to do some action. So you are executing a command. Command is a predefined action it is. So if I'm running ls listing files, it is listing the files because it is defined. The instruction is already defined in the background. You just use the command. It does the same instruction what was defined in the command in the operating system anyway. So that is kind of, anything that you run is a command which is already predefined as an action. So you run and get the output and then start working with the commands basically. Just we need to know how these commands work basically. They are predefined programmatic commands basically. So now PWD. PWD is something present working directory. If you wanted to know where you are connected, it is very, very important for us. Every moment we will use a PWD, where you connected before you run any command. Basically, you need to know where you connected. So by default, whenever you connect to machine, you will be connected to home directory. Under home directory, your user profile will get created. Okay, so then you start working under your home directory if at all you wanted. But in the real time, you don't build anything under your home directory. You go out of home directories and work on the products in fact in the real time, right? So here, if example, if I wanted to know where I'm connected, PWD, if I wanted to know what are the files are there in the current directory where I'm connected, LSFN-L, long listing the files. If I give LSFN-LS itself, it will give the file names itself. If I wanted to know the file or a directory or the details of the file, then you have to go with the LSFN-L. LSFN-L will display all the files that are there in the current directory. So in the current directory where I'm connected, PWD again, I'm connected under home Ravinder directory where I can see all these files and directories. How do I say this is a directory, this is a file? Whatever is starting with the D is a directory. Whatever is starting with hyphen is a file, simply blindly. Generally, you'll have a lot of files and directories in the real time also. So how do you know that a directory, or a file? Just you need to look at the first letter, right? Anyway, you can see this, this is in listed out in a, like blue color, right? So, and the other one, files are listed out in a white color. You can see that the color actually is, sometimes you might see different things, but you need to go with this basically. D is a directory which is a browsable. R means is a, sorry, the hyphen means is a file basically. You can read it. Files can be readable, directories are browsable in fact, right? So PWD just for, prints the where you connected all the time. LSFNL will list out all the files that you have in the current directory. What are the files, what are the directories you have in the current directory where you connected? We can verify with the LSFNL. That's one of the small command. Make directory. Make directory here, if you wanted to build a new directory, in fact. So let me clear the screen. LSFNL. These are all files I have it. I wanted to create a new directory called MongoDB, MKDAR, MongoDB. So I can create the whole directory because I'm into my home directory. How do you get the permission to create the directories out of your home directory? That is a tomorrow topic. I'll pick up the permissions and what privilege we need to get at what level we're going to talk about as a real-time implementation. First, let's go through the basics for now. mkdir is a command to create a directory. If I wanted to create multiple directories also, I can create a MongoDB1, MongoDB2, something like that. So I wanted to create 3 directories in a single command. I can do this. If I go here, if I verify it, I created MongoD1, MongoD2, MongoDB. These are the 3 directories I have done right just now. So mkdir, using the mkdir, you can create the directories. You can create the directories, whatever the directory you wanted. Anyway, why we need to create the directories as a DBA? Yes, we do create for the product purpose. Actually, we need to create data directories, log directories, like setup directories and keys directories. We will create different directories in fact as part of the Mongo installation. When we have to move the uh, product itself from the one mount point to other mount point, we will build ourselves all the directory what we wanted and migrate it. So how do you move? How do you do that? System managed installation, user managed installation. There are different installations of Mongo which will be used in the real time. So I'm going to run through all of that. But now, just let's go through the basic command. This is a very simple command. That's what you can do with mkdir, creating a new directory. That's it. CD is very, very important for us. Call directory or change directory. Where I'm connected right now, I'm connected into home Ravinder. If I wanted to switch directory to anywhere, if for example I wanted to go to desktop, so in Linux, if you type few letters of the directory or file, hit tab, it will resolve the name if there is no new 2 files are matching with that. If I go with the Mongo example, just Mongo, if I hit tab, so it is going to show all the directories which are matching with this. See, MongoD, here also MongoD you have it, here also you have MongoD, here also you have MongoD. Whenever you have more files with that letters, then it will display all the files and directory name. If it is there is only one file or directory, it will resolve the file name automatically. It is a, see here, what I'm doing, just try to follow. These are all very basics in fact. So DE, yes, I'm just typing DES and hitting tab. it will resolve the directory name straight away, because there is no such other directories are falling with that name. It is straight away resolved. I'm going into desktop directory. If I look at here, I browsed into desktop directory, and if I wanted to check what is there inside in it, again LSF in L, there is nothing in it in fact. To come back again, I am into desktop directory. I wanted to come back, cd dot dot. Cd dot dot will take you to one directory back from the current directory, in fact. So I'm into again Ravi home Ravinder directory. So if I look at here again, let me see, do I have anything inside the directories? Maybe videos, cd videos. See, if I wanted to copy paste, just highlight and shift insert. That's it. You don't need to use control C, control P kind of thing here. Unix flavors generally, you highlight it, it will copy. Basically, if I wanted to copy this big name, I cannot type this one, right? Just I'll double click, highlight it, that will copy it automatically to the buffer, and then you can paste it. Like shift insert will copy paste. Basically, you just highlight, shift insert, it will copy paste. That's it. Okay, it's a file, it is not browsable. If I do this one, it will throw the error. What it's saying, it is not a directory, it is a file. How do I say? You can say this, it starts with a hyphen, right? So if I go to the video directory, just to browsing the directories, if at all, if I have, okay, I don't have anything here, fine, come on, I'll create something then. Cd mongo d1 and mkdir. See where I am right now, into mongo d1. And if I wanted to create some more directories, mkdir lab1, cd lab1, I'm doing it on purpose like this. So testing again, cd testing. So where I am right now, if I check, I'm into home Ravinder Mongo D1 lab testing and all this. If I create a files here, if I wanted to create empty file, there is a command called touch file 1, file 2, file 3, something like this. Okay, I created some files under the current directory where I'm connected to. This is where. So now if I wanted to go back to home directory for some reason, I don't want to be in this directory, just cd wherever you are connected, doesn't matter, it will take back to your home directory. Cd means it will take you to your home directory wherever you are connected, and whatever the directory you are working, it doesn't matter, it will take you to your home directory, home Ravinder basically. So if I wanted to go back to the same directory again, I have to browse through mongo d1, right? Under again, I'll verify what is the directory I have it here, cd lab1. Again, what we have in the current directory, testing, cd testing, right? Again, I am into the same directory. I wanted to come to this directory where mongo d1 directory. I wanted to skip 2 directories and go back up to mongo d1. So how do I go 2 directories back? I'll go to cd dot dot slash dot dot. So it is actually going 2 directories back again. So if you dot dot slash dot dot means we're asking the command to go back to 2 directories back. So playing with the directories is very important, guys. It's a very important to browse the directories and play with the directories, in fact. So it did not go back. It should be landed into mongo d1, right? So why not cd dot 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 dot. Should, yeah, it is gone now. It went 2 directories back. Why not the other case? Just a minute, clear the screen. cd mongo d1, just for the case of discussion, guys. Then what we have here, lab, where I am right now, right, where I was in Ravinder directory. This is my home directory, right? cd. Maybe this might be boring. Who knows all the basics? Just bear with me. cd mongo d1. But anyway, tomorrow class will be interesting, though you are working for sure. So testing. This is the directory where I am right now, pwd. So I wanted to go back multiple directories back basically. So cd dot dot slash dot dot. So it should take me to 2 directories back basically. See, so I was in testing. Now I moved back to mongo d1. So 2 directories back. If I wanted to go 2 directories forward also, lab1, I'll give it, right, cd lab1 slash testing. So I'll go 2 directories forward. So you can go forward, you can come backward to the directories basically. So this is very, very important, right? We need to, where we are installing, where we need to go to and work on the files. You need to browse through. Then only you can work on the files basically. So cd is such an important command to browse through the directories. Someone have a question?
Yeah, Ravi, Srikanth here.
Yeah, go ahead, Srikant.
Yeah, the one question: can we create a directory and inside the directory at a time? Like I want to create a M1 directory, and inside M1 I want to create a M2. So can I? Is there any way to create that?
You can. There is something, I guess, mkdir recursive something. Let me do this. So where I'm right now into testing. So here we don't have anything. So I wanted to create child directories also. mkdir -r, I guess.
No,
Uh,
mkdir-p. -p.
-p. Oh, right. -p. That's correct. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it long ago I did this. Maybe here you wanted to do maybe db1 slash, sorry, slash db2, maybe db3 slash db4. You can do this child directories. It's not correct actually. P is invalid. I guess what was that? P small p? Right, small p. It's not a big P. That's correct. So if I go and see here, it is created db2. Under db2 again you will find called db3, right? Under db3 again you'll find db4. So this way you can create child directories also at a time if you want. Got it right?
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
So if I look at here, see I am into these many directories. So if I wanted to go multiple directories back again, like the same thing, cd is dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot. So how many directories I'll go back now? 4 directories. In fact, if I do this, 4 directories. 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4. So I mean I'll land into lab1 directory if I do this. So if I see here lab1, I can see that already. So into lab1. So multiple directories ahead, multiple directories behind, come back, and then you wanted to go directory by directory, or you come back directory by directory. It's up to you. Like browsing the directory is such an important thing for us to work on where you are working. Removing the directory. This is very dangerous. You have to be very careful, guys, when you're removing. There is no recycle bin Unix flavors. So you deleted something means deleted. That's it. So it's not good. Something you should not do anything without knowing it. So anyway, so I'm into this directory where I have more files. If I wanted to remove the directory called MongoD1, it is non-empty directory, right? So remove directory basically rmdir MongoD1 mongo d1. If I do this, it is not empty directory. So empty directories you can remove. Example, I have a MongoD2. MongoD2 does not have anything. MongoD2 does not have anything. In fact, if I go and check, it is empty, absolutely empty directory. So if I go back again, cd dot dot one directory back, again if I see this MongoD2, I'm going to do rmdir remove directory MongoD2. If I do this one, it will get deleted. RMDIR generally will delete the empty directories, a directory which does not have anything in it. So that kind of directories you can remove with the RMDIR. If you wanted to delete the non-empty directories, recursive delete, you have to use the rm-r and then delete it. So RMDIR removes the directory. Again, if you wanted to remove the non-empty directories, use rm-rf directory kind of. So here, if I wanted to delete this, it has MongoDB has a lot of directories and child directories in it. If I wanted to delete rm-rf, MongoD1. If I wanted to copy, just copy, let me copy this MongoD1. And if I do this one to Mongo10, MongoD10, something like that, can I do like this? Yes or no? You have to use a recursive copy here, basically, in fact, right? So it'll copy that entire directory structure into Mongo10. So now what I'm going to do, MongoD1 cannot be deleted. I'll talk about this recursive copy. Copy I did not finish yet. We will talk about it. For now, remove directory and remove directory, non-empty directories and empty directories, in fact. So empty directories you can remove using rmdir command, but non-empty directories you have to use rm-rf, recursive force. Force means don't ask me every time every file is there, do you want it to delete, do you want it to, I don't want, just delete it. Rf means R means recursive, F means force. Just go and delete whatever you have inside the directories. This is such a dangerous command. You run it, it will be gone means gone. There is no recovery for it, in fact. So if you go and check this one, the directory is gone. So you have to double check every time when you run the especially rm command. You have to check the where you connected and what is the file you are trying to delete. Is it intended or not? You check once, twice, thrice also good, but you have to be 100% sure that you are deleting the right file or right directory. Okay, it's very, very important, guys, especially. So if you wanted to delete a file, rm is the only thing you have it anyway. So if I wanted to delete file 1, okay, the rm file 1, so I don't need any rf1 special statements like that. It is not going inside the file and you don't have anything inside the file to browse and delete it, kind of. Just straight away you can delete the file. Files can be deleted with a remove. Rm means remove here, in fact. Move will be used in two ways. In fact, we can rename a file or directory or cut paste a file to remote directory. Two things can be done. See, if I go and check, clear the screen again, just follow this. You have to practice all of these, guys. Anyway, I wanted to rename a file. Move file 2 to file 100. I wanted to rename the file to file 100, in fact. So it is going to do that. If I do this one, there is no file 2 anymore. You'll find 100 file 100 only, because file 2 got renamed. File 2 got renamed. If I wanted to move this file to Mongo 10 or MongoDB something, so I'll use mv file 100, okay, and the target directory. Whatever your directory you wanted to move, you move the target directory. If I run this one, the file got cut pasted. It got, moved to MongoDB and the source is gone. Source got deleted and it copied to the target. So you are doing the cut and paste on the target. cd MongoDB. If I go and check, there is a file called file 100. It is moved here, in fact. So move will be used in two ways, only two ways. In fact, we can rename a directory or a file. If I wanted to rename this Mongo 10 to move MongoDB, Mongo D1, right? Mongo D1 D10 to, I wanted to rename that one to Mongo 100 something. So you can see that Mongo D10 is turned to Mongo 100. You can rename a directory or rename a file. You wanted to move this directory also into the MongoDB. Again, it is like a move. It's not just copy paste, it's cut paste. So move, what I wanted to move Mongo 100, where I wanted to move, in fact, this one to MongoDB, right? So you don't find the source, that file anymore. It moved to MongoDB straight away. See, you moved a file, you moved a directory also. So that way, move will be used to rename a file or directory or move a file. Moving in the sense here, you are copying to target and deleting the source. That is what it is going to happen. First, it will copy and delete the source. So rename a directory or a file, or moving a file or directory from current directory to target directory. These are the things you can do with the move. So any questions? PWD will be used for printing the present working directory where you are connected. ls-l will list out all the files and directories that you have in the current directory where you're connected. mkdir will be used to create the new directories where you connected at the moment, or else you can create subdirectories also. You can go to recursively go into the child directories and create it. And then change directory or call directory, whatever it is. Remove directory or rm-rf directory, wherever non-empty directories cannot be used with rmdir. So you have to use rm-rf. Move will be used to rename a file or cut paste a file from one directory to other directory. Then ls-l we have seen just now, reading the files in the current directory, right? So cd dot dot. So I'm just discussing the very basic commands today. Tomorrow we'll go a little bit of advanced. Anyway, that will be interesting for anyone whoever working also. That will be interesting only. So here, touch is a command to create the empty files, just empty file. So touch I can create a touch and then file1, file2. I'm trying to create. So now you go and check, you'll find two empty files are created. File1, file2 got created just with the touch command. It will not input anything. In the Mongo, we will have three different files, in fact, external files to import into the Mongo. Basically, file1 dot, maybe you will have CSV file, file2 dot JSON files, and file3 dot JSON array files. In fact, JSON array also will be given with an extension called dot .json itself. Okay, and here CSV file, JSON file, JSON array files. These are the three different files where we do export from the Mongo, from inside the Mongo also. Like you will get the external files. External files mostly CSV format, JSON file format, JSON array format. We have to import into the Mongo, export out of the Mongo, send it to the people whoever you wanted. How you import, how you export, we have a separate module for that. I'm going to discuss. As a DBA, we will support them. Okay. So touch can create any file in any extension. It doesn't matter. TXT file 1 and file 1 here, JSON file, file 3, CSV file. It doesn't matter what extension you use it. It will just create empty files as you instruct. Okay, JSON file, CSV file, TXT file, and all that. So touch is a small command which will create the empty files. That's it. If you try to read this file, it doesn't have anything. What is a command to read file? Cat. Cat, if I use this one, it doesn't have anything. If it has something, it will read that file basically. So touch is something which will create an empty file, nothing else. VI editor is very, very important. We will use every day almost to edit something. So if I look at here, we have a lot of empty files here. I wanted to input some data into this file, file 1. If I try to read the file 1, I don't have anything in it. I wanted to input some data into the file 1. How do I do? VI and the file name. VI file name. See, I'm doing everything under the home directory. That's why I can do everything. If I move out of home directory, I need to have a privilege on the directory to do it, or a file. That's something we will see tomorrow, but understand the commands wise. VI editor, we call it as a VI editor, is famous. So VI file name, it will open the file. You will be opened, but you have to get into the insert mode to write some content into the file. It just opened. If you wanted to write something, go to insert mode, hit on the I key, just hit on the I key. See here, it is just saying that insert mode. Now this is a sample file created for VI editor discussion, something I'm writing. Right. So once you edit whatever you wanted, escape. You have to click on the escape, colon, W, Q, exclamatory. So Q exclamatory means quit the file, W means save the file. In escape mode, just you have to hit tab, colon, W means save the file, whatever you have done. Q hyphen means quit the file. So we are quitting it and saving it. If I go and read that file, cat file 1, I'll find the data here. See here? If I wanted to re-edit the same file, again VI file 1, I can go to here. It is opened the file. I'm at the line 1, and my cursor, it has a 44 characters in this file as of now total. So if I wanted to write something, I have to go to the insert mode. It is just opened the file. I'll hit on the I, and then it enter. This is a new line in this file, something, whatever it is, just for the some data sake. So now again, I inserted the new data. I should come out of the insert mode. To come out of the insert mode, I have to do escape colon W Q quit, right? So now if I go and read the file 1, I'll have the second data. Again, if I go to file 1, again, this is the data, you have it. So total, you have 2 lines in this file, 74 characters altogether. So I'll go to insert mode again. How do I go? Hit on the I, it will go to insert mode, and then I'll modify something. If I'm modifying this, all of this, I'm going to out of the insert mode by pressing the escape colon Q exclamatory. I'm not giving W this time. W, if you are not giving W, means whatever you have done in this session will be lost. It won't be saved. You are not saving what you have done in this session. So now if I go and read the file 1, you don't find what I have inserted because you did not use a WQ hyphen when you closed it. So again, if I wanted to do the same thing again, I'll go to the insert mode again. I'm into the insert mode. You can see that insert at the bottom when I hit on the I. So now if I go on inserting some data, escape again, colon WQ exclamatory, now that data will get saved. You can see that. See, this data I just loaded into it. So it is that simple anyway. You just open the file and do whatever you wanted to change. Generally, we will change the config files, Mongo server config files. We enable the features, disable the features, enable the security, disable the security. We do many attempts, in fact, for many reasons. And we had to go to the Mongo file directories, and if you wanted to read the JSON files, CSV files, that also you can do it. Basically, we will reuse all these commands, whatever I'm discussing, when we start the product anyway.
Ravinder, one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I'm writing into file a lot of data, if I wanted to
Hmm.
save that in the middle of insertion, how to do that?
You cannot save that. You have to come out of it to save it.
Okay.
There is no such thing that you can do and then save within the shell itself. You have to come out of that editor and again reopen if you want.
Okay, thank you.
That's how it is. Right. It is what VI cat. What is a cat command? Cat command will be used in many ways. In fact, it can be used in many different ways. In fact, so let's use this. So I'll go into MongoDB directory just for the sake, because we have many files there, so you'll confuse. So here I have file 100. File 100, does it have any data as of now? Cat file 100. You don't have it. It is empty file. In fact, I moved empty file, right? Oh, it has some data. File 100, it has some data. Okay, fine, good enough. So now it will read the file. Cat is a command. It will read the file, but it can create the file. It can take the input also. Example, if I wanted to use cat and greater than symbol 100, file 100, file 1. If I'm using cat greater than symbol file 1, it is opened up. It is created a file. It is opened a file. This is a cat file cat command demonstration. Okay, something like this. I'm doing it, and then Control C to come out of that command. So now if I go and check here, I'll find a file called file 1. File 1, if I read it, I have the data into it. Cat command can create a new file and load the data into it. But can it edit the file? No, you cannot edit the file using the cat. You have these files. This file got created with the cat. You cannot edit that file. You can only read the file, and whatever the data I have it, if I wanted to edit again, example, cat file 1, it will overwrite the file every time you try to do this. Maybe I'll keep 1, 2, 3, 4, something, whatever it is, just for the sake. Control C. Now if you go and read the file 1, it got replaced. Whatever the data was there, it is overwritten. So cat can create a new file if it is not there. Cat can overwrite a file if it is there. When you are overwriting, it will take the data, but it cannot edit the data. Using the cat command, you cannot edit the data. You can overwrite the file content if you want. If the file is there, you're using cat greater than that file name, it can be overwritten. It can be overwritten. So now, again, so if I go to the cat, this thing you need to understand, just for the information only, guys. These are all. You may not use all this, but you should know as a basic thing. See, you don't need to be expertised into the OS administration as a DBA. We don't have to be, too much of expertise to work on the product side. We should know how to create the files, how to create the directories, how to give the permissions, how do you copy, how do you move, how do you copy the files to remote location, right? And how you deal with the user privileges at the OS side and the product side, and then installing the product and browsing the directories, reading the files, mostly not too much of administration required as a product guy. Minimum knowledge is enough. So I'm going to cover into one and a half more class. That's more than enough to survive as a DBA and the Unix flavors on all platforms. In fact, these are all, see, these distributions came from the Unix. Unix is a open source on top of which people created a distributions. All distributions came from the Unix. That's why these commands work on all the flavors. You have Amazon Linux, you have Red Hat Linux, you have Ubuntu, you have Oracle people Linux. Right? There are many people, products they have created. Even Amazon have a Linux, their own Linux. So there are many people created their own distributions. So each distribution actually developed from the Unix. Unix is a mother of all distributions. Sorry, guys, just one. All distributions have been created from the Unix. That's why commands everywhere, whatever I'm discussing, it works on all the platforms. So now cat file 10, if I do this again, it will overwrite whatever you have in the file 10. So file 10 you don't have it anyway, but I wanted to append the data to the let me do this file 10. So I'll keep it 1 2 3 4 5. See, if I'm exiting the file on the line where you have the data, it won't save. You have to come to the next line and then save it. When you don't use this command for loading any data at all, but this is a limitation. If I'm exiting, Control C to exit out of it, I exited on the line 5th, so that won't get saved. If you go and read the file 1, sorry, cat file 10, right? Yeah, file 10. You'll see 1 2 3 4 only, not 5. Why? Because you exited in that line. Wherever you exit in that line, whatever the data it contains, it will be ignored. It will be ignored. So again, if I go and type the same data file 10, it will overwrite 4 5 6 7 something, and then 9. If I do this one, Control C, I'll find all the data this time. Why I'll find all the data? Because I exited after the last line data. That way you can find it. Now I don't want to overwrite with the cat, but I want to append the data. Appending is possible. You have to use the double greater than and file name. This time I'll give a 10 20 30 something. Okay, I'm exiting. Now if I go and read file 10, right? Yeah, you'll find the previous data and the new data. It is appended. It did not edit the data. Editing is not possible with the cat command. Cat command will be used to read the content of the file, and it will create a new file and you can input the data. You can overwrite the existing file if it exists when you are creating it, or you can append the data to also. And also it will be used in different ways. If I am reading the cat file 10, I wanted to send the data to file 20. Redirecting it, read this file, send the output to file 20. Okay, so whatever the content you have here, you wanted to send it to this file. If I hit this one, it will create a file 20 automatically, and then it will copy all the content of file 10. You see all the data is here. If I try to copy this content to file 20, it will get overwritten again. Cat file 1, what we have 1 2 3 4. If I do the cat file 1 and I'm sending the output to file 20, this content of the file will be overwritten with the new content from the new file. Because you're redirecting this output into this file, it will get overwritten. If you go to this, we will use many times, guys, as a DBA also in some cases. I'll tell you what are the cases. Anyway, you have overwritten. File 20 was having some data. What was the data we had with the file 20? This is what 4 5 6 7 9 10 20 30, 29 something. And what did I do here? I told the command that read this content, right? Read this content file 10 and load into file 20. Right, where did I replace it? Right here I did. File 1, read this content, load into file 20. So file 1 content overwritten what you have into file 20. No, I don't want that. I wanted to append it. Whatever you have it, I just wanted to append. File 10 to be appended to file 20. So file 1 data, file 10 data both will be there in the file 20 now. So we are giving the double arrow. Double arrow always append. It will read the data from this, append into this file at the end of the file. So that way cat will be used in many ways in fact. Okay. So now you see the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Both the files data is combined. So cat can create empty file and you can input the data. Cat can overwrite the file and then you can input the data. You can read the file. You can redirect the content of the current file to a new file, and you can append file. All that can be done into using the cat command. So cat command used in many ways, guys, just for the information. What next? Tag. Tag is something you wanted to read in the reverse order. So tag, see, if you cat, if you reverse it, TAC, see here, cat TAC. TAC will read the file in the reverse order. Reverse means 29, 20, 10 like that, from the bottom to up in the reverse order. Tag and the file 25, use it. You get the data, see, 29, 20. It is reading in the bottom to up approach basically. It'll read the file in the reverse order. So tag will be used to read the file in the reverse order. Cat will be used the same order, whatever the file you have it. That's all about the tag. Okay. CP is very, very, very important command for us. CP will be used for many reasons. In fact, when we have to take the backup, we have to use this one. When we do the migrations also, we copy the files and all that. We'll see this. Let's see this. So MongoDB has some data into it, right? You have seen some data, directories and all that. So now if I wanted to copy, if directory as a new directory, I wanted to make a copy of it because I'm doing the major change on that one. So CP MongoDB to MongoDB 200 something, whatever it is. If I do this, what happens? Actually, it is a non-empty directory. It has a lot of data into it. When you have to copy, sorry, what did I do? When you have to copy here a directory which is having some data into it and data and directories, you have to use a recursive copy. CP hyphen capital R hyphen capital R. Smaller recursive permission, smaller capital R recursive copy. Some people will confuse with the smaller and capital R. Capital R will be used for copying the data recursively. Smaller will be used giving the permissions recursively. That we'll talk in the next tomorrow class. So now I'm copying MongoDB 200 now. So what I'm asking is, this directory has some data inside in it and directory also. Go and copy recursively into this one. So if I run this one, it will not touch the source at all. It will make exact copy of it. MongoDB, see 78 bytes and 78 bytes. You see the exact size. Whatever you have it, you'll have it. So move is the opposite to this. Move will rename or cut paste. If I wanted to, example, if I wanted to copy maybe video directory into MongoDB something. Okay. If I go to MongoDB again, you don't have a video directory here. You don't have it, right? So I wanted to copy a directory. Okay, this directory I wanted to copy into this directory. CP videos. Okay, and it has some file, I guess. So I had to use a recursive copy when it is non-empty. So now I'm copying it to MongoDB directory. So source is not touched when you use a copy. See, in the Windows also, copy paste. You copy and paste on the target. Source will be there, target will be there. When you cut paste, when it is copied, the source will be gone. So that way, move will work in the cut paste direction, copy will work copy paste direction. If you compare with the Windows operations, in fact here. So CP will be used to copy within the directory or target directory, wherever you want to do it. But if you are doing within the directory, the target directory should not exist. Example, if I'm doing this MongoDB, CP MongoDB again, as what? I'm going to do recursive copy again. I'm trying to copy as MongoDB 200. You have already that, right? So what it says, oh, it is copied. It should throw the error actually, in fact. It's overwritten. Already there kind of, right? That's what it does, right? Copy. It is recopied actually, in fact. Let me go into cd mongo 200. I'm going to delete everything. To delete everything, rm-rf asterisk. Asterisk means current directory. You delete everything in the current directory. Rm means remove, hyphen means recursively, and force. Don't ask me, do you want to delete this file or not? Just delete. And what you want to delete everything in the current directory. So if you go and check here, it is everything is gone. Actually, I was expected that CP would fail. CP MongoDB recursive MongoDB. It will overwrite also, I guess. Okay, it's overwriting. So anyway, you wanted to copy entire directory. Okay, we will do that during the upgrade, Mongo upgrades. When we can copy the entire data directory as a copy and then upgrade the current directory. If it is fails, we'll point the Mongo to the copy directory and start the Mongo. It will make the, like if you wanted to roll back the upgrade, it's so simple to roll back. You can also roll back through the backup restore, but that will take time. I'll talk about all the possible scenarios, how you can do the upgrades. In fact, the safest way to roll back and the toughest way to roll back. We will talk about all possibilities. So that way, that time we will copy the entire data directory to different standby copy directory. Okay, so copy will be used to copy in the current directory or remote directory, wherever you wanted. Okay, remove already discussed. We can remove rm-rf and all that. Then word count. Word count, if you wanted to know, I'm running the Mongo on this, I guess. Just a minute. Log. There is a file. If I wanted to read this file, I cannot read it. Basically, I have to use a sudo privilege to read it. If I try to read it, it will throw the permission. Permissions I'll discuss tomorrow. I'll use sudo privilege. See, in Windows, you'll have the administrator privilege. To install anything, to delete someone else, user directories or something else, you need to be an administrator. If not, you cannot delete. So here also you need to be part of the sudoers group. Sudoer is equivalent to administrator in the Windows comparatively, if you compare. So I'm calling my root privilege, administrative privilege, to read the file. Sudo cat that file, and if it'll ask me, am I a sudoer or not? It'll verify with my password. So it is reading it. It is reading it. If I wanted to know here, how many lines of data is there in that file? Lines -l. If I go and read, oh come on, I have to use a sudo. Or it is saying no such file. Oh sorry, sudo cat. I have used both. Just a minute. That's all. So I'm using sudo wcfl and the file name cat. Why I'm using cat? Cat is not required. So if I'm using this, it'll tell us how many lines you have in this file. Total 64 lines you have it. C means word count. See here, if you see here, WC. WC means word count, the full form of it basically. So if you wanted to know how many lines you have in a file, then you will use WC-L, lines. I wanted to know how many words are there in the file, WC-W and the file name. If I use this one, total 1022 words. Words means this connection is a word, end is a word, connection is a word. Where whatever is separated is a word. It will treat this as a one word. In fact, total 1022 words you have it. If you wanted to know characters, everything is a character. Space is also a character. So if you wanted to know character count, this I'll use many a times. In fact, total 10,101 characters we have in the entire 64 lines. We have 64 lines of data in that file. In which file? In this file. 64 lines. Okay. And total 64 lines, 1022 words, 10,100 characters you have it. You can read all of that. But you don't read words and characters in the real world. We will read the lines. How many lines of data you have it, whether you wanted to read entirely or a portion, partly. How do you read part of the data of that file when the file is too big? So wc sudo is must. Sudo wc-l. Okay, I just wanted to know only the lines. 64 lines you have it. If you read as it is, if at all you wanted to read, you can read like this. It'll have a lot of data. So if you go and check here, it has a 64 lines of data in this one. If you count, you can find all this together is a 64 lines in fact. Okay, this way a word count will be used. Word count is really helpful. I use many times. I'm going to talk anyway when we start the product. Head. What is a head?
Ravi,
Head is, yeah, go ahead.
hello. Yeah,
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead,
Ravi.
please.
Just simple question. Can we take all three at a time? I mean, word and lines and
No, 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 no. We don't. I don't think we
the
can do that.
JavaScript.
Let's do this. So what you said. Why not? Lines, words, count. Is it giving? Oh, it is giving. These many lines, these many words, these many characters. Yes, it is giving. Yeah, it is possible, but we don't read words and characters at all at any point of time. We only read the lines. Okay. Uh, that is what we have to do as a DBA. We don't care about the words and characters anyway in the file. But yes, it's good that you asked and it is possible. Okay. Then head. Good question. Head. Head is something. Let me clear the screen. So you have the file here called MongoDB log. It has 64 lines. Head will read by default 10 lines. Sudo head and the file name. By default, it will read 10 lines. Only 10 lines. If I wanted to read 15 lines, 20 lines, whatever the number you wanted, you have to give the number here. So 10 lines, I don't want 10, I wanted 20 lines. So 20, give it 20 lines exactly, it will read. Head 20, if you count from here to here, 20 lines. It is reading the 20 lines exactly. If I wanted to read 30 lines, means 30 lines. That's it. Nothing else, I would say. Sorry, sudo must be given. So you are reading the data from the top, and that too you are limiting the output. When you are reading from the top, how many lines you wanted to read? By default, head will read 10 lines only. If you need to read more lines from the file, you have to give the number. So if I hit it, it will load exactly 30 lines from the file. So that way the head will be used. Tail. Tail is it's a reverse of it. It will read from the bottom in fact. If I go and use tail, okay, sudo I have to use again. So clear the screen. So lsfnl, you have only one file. Sudo tail and the file name. It will read 10 lines from the bottom of the file. In fact, from the bottom means from the bottom to up 10 lines exactly. If I wanted to need to read, see when we have to troubleshoot the Mongo server is down. Where do you troubleshoot? You have to read Mongo log file only. That is the only source of truth for us. So you come and read at least 100 lines, last 100 lines, tail 100 and the file name and read the logs. That will tell you mostly why the Mongo is down. Okay. So this is the command we use, tail minus 20 here, hyphen 20, in fact, that's not minus. So if I go here, it is reading the 20 lines from the bottom of the file. Head will read from the top, tail will read from the bottom. So the Mongo logs are written at the bottom of the file all the time when it is writing the new entries. So you need to read the bottom of the lines to understand why Mongo is down or something, potential issues are going on with the Mongo. We have to read the Mongo log file only. We will do all sort of troubleshooting from the Mongo log file only. We're going to see that when we start the course anyway. So these are all commands I'm going to reuse anyway. So you get to know how do we use in the real time. But in the beginning, you need to practice all of this to get the better understanding of each command. Okay, that way you can easily get familiarized. Less. If you wanted to read, again, clear the screen. I have only one file here. I'm going to read less and the file name. It will read the entire file. Okay. If you go, like space by space, it will read the file. If I wanted to go back line by line, I can go. I can read line by line. I can go forward line by line. It is possible with less, only with less. Less will, you can go page by page, okay? One page by page. You have to hit the backward B. If you hit page by page, you go back. If you wanted to go page by page forward, hit tab. Tab, it will read page by page. So with the less command, you can read the data page by page, and you can read line by line also. Upward, downward, upward, downward, page by page, forward, backward. This is possible. Control C. Okay. Q. Hit. Okay. Quit. Control colon Q. It is quitting the file. Anyway. So now there is a command called more. More also will be used. In more, you'll get the different benefit. It will read the entire file by giving the space percentage by percent. 33% loaded, 72% loaded, 100% loaded. If I wanted to go back, once it is read, it came out of that. So again, I'll read more. 33% loaded. Upward arrow, downward arrow is not working. See, backward is also not working here. Okay. So you will read percentage page by page only. That's a drawback with the more. More you can read, like you can read page by page. Line by line is not possible. And it will tell you the percentage of the data it read. Both have advantages, disadvantages. With less, you can read page by page, backward, forward, line by line. With more, you cannot read the data by line. Upward, downward arrows won't work. But advantage is that how much data you read, it will give a percentage. With the less, it won't give a percentage how much you read. When the file is very big, how many pages it is going to load, you don't know. Page by page you are reading it, but how much percentage, how much data you read, you don't know. That something is not good, right? So more will help in that direction. So these are all interchangeable commands. You have to use it according to the need, but that's how these commands will work. Okay, so let's recap quickly in these commands. I'll move next anyway. So listing files, what are the files you wanted to see in the current directory, lsf and l will give you, and touch will create the empty files. Vi editor to edit the existing file, content of the existing file. Cat will, come on, sorry. Cat command will create the file, overwrite the file, and then send the output to one file to other file, or send the file and append to the target file. You can do all that sort of operation. Tag will read in the reverse order. CP will copy the file or directory within the directory or target directory, whatever it is. Move means cut paste. We have seen that. Removing a directory, non-empty directories or a file. Word count, head, tail, and less more. So any questions on these commands? Let me know. So permissions I don't talk today. I'll talk some commands, basic commands, where I listed somewhere, I guess. Tomorrow we'll talk about the permissions and groups. We'll finish tomorrow anyway. It is simple. If you follow this, it is enough, more than enough. Let's finish these commands for now. So now guys, any questions so far on these commands, whatever we discussed, less, more, and all that? Okay, clear the screen.
Ravi, sorry, I actually joined middle of the class. Are you going to teach me how to install the Unix, Linux, whatever?
No, you don't need to install anything at all. I said in the beginning, you missed, I guess. I'll give the, Linux machine zip file where you can just extract it and mount it and work on it. We never install as a DBA, don't have to worry. Install the VMware, just download, extract, and mount it. But anyway, I'll give this link today. But for installation, connecting that, you people need to pay the fee to get that support. I mean, I'll install one-on-one. I'll connect with one-on-one once you guys pay the fee. That is the minimum criteria anyway. Okay. Yeah. We don't install as a DBA. I never installed any voice machine in the live environment. I never get a chance.
Don't install, but in small organization, we have to install. We have to do everything. We have to configure.
Voice level, you don't do small organization. There will be definitely some people to do that. You have to product and you might have to do a development, a DBA, that thing. But voice side also, if you're doing, and you are the soul and whole, no need of anyone in the company. Then, right. So next, guys, grep. Grep is very important command for us. Grep will used in many different ways, in fact. So if I go and check here, there is a file. File has a lot of content in it. So I wanted to look for, let me read the file first. Sudo cat mongo. It has these many things. I wanted to read only false. Wherever is false is there, that lines only I wanted to read it. Only that lines. Okay. So how do I do that? Grep, sudo grep, and you have to what you are looking for. I'm looking grep. Wait, sudo cat. I have to read cat first, and then pipe. Pipe grep. Always it work with the pipe. Pipe means you are reading it and sending the output to grep. Grep. What I wanted to grep? Wherever false is there, I need those lines only in the entire file. If I hit this, see, it read only the lines which has a false in it. Okay, this line, this one, everything is like a one line, and this is a false. And this is like everything is one line. It has a false. It has a false. If I wanted to see only received, wherever I see the received, that lines I wanted. Only that it is exactly matching on this word, and it will give the lines here. This line has received, this line has received, this line has received. Further, wherever it has a connection 1, I need that further from that output. You can grep further, in fact. Grep, maybe you need further name. Everywhere name is there, everywhere everything is same, look like. Network, everywhere is there, internal client. Anyway, connection 1 maybe. If I do this one, it will list out only one line as an output. Why? Received is there here and the connection is there here in this line only. So whenever you have to read a huge file with a criteria, grep will be used. Example, if I go with the top is a command to read all the sessions that are running in the Mongo. Okay, it will open up all the OS sessions, in fact, whatever you're running on the machine. So let me quit this. The ps-ef will display all the sessions currently running on the machine. If it is like, if it is a Windows machine, go to task manager, you'll go to process. These are all process running, right, on my laptop. There are huge list of services running on my laptop. The same way, every OS will run a lot of background services for running the operating system. Here also, there are a lot of processes running here, right? So I wanted to know, out of all these processes, Mongo is running or not. Mongo is running or not. PSF in F and grep Mongo. You will use it. Grep Mongo. It will tell you Mongo is not running or not. It is not running. If I wanted to know maybe any program which running with the some name, whatever it is, this name. If I wanted to know, so that there is a program which is running with that name. Now, instead of Mongo, I'm giving this. So it is running. It is telling that this process is running with a process ID called 8739. This is a process ID, in fact. You can kill this process using the ID. We don't want to kill. We will see that. How do you kill the Mongo forcibly in a worst case? When do we kill from the OS? I'll talk about the scenarios. There are some scenarios you have to kill and gain the access. We'll see that, where that can be possible to follow. Grep is such a important command to search whatever you have as an input. So it's not one layer. In fact, you can go to many layers. Let me show you some example. Maybe sudo cat file name. It has these many things. Maybe I'll read where warning is given. Only warnings. Okay. cd sudo cat the file name. You have to grep it and after the pipe. So warning, it's not matching, it's case sensitive, in fact. Okay, just highlight it, it will get copied. So these many lines has a warning. What is enabled? Enabled, I wanted to grab further. Next.
Ravinder, how to grab a warning along with something else? For example, warning and false. And
Two
in
things.
terms, I mean, I have to.
And mm.
I'm sorry. I would like to see warning messages. Also, all the lines that contains false as well.
Okay, you wanted to see warnings and that
Failures.
thing.
Yeah.
You can go by giving the input. One more input will it take? Let me see. I never gave a try, but
You can use another pipe and then followed by grep -i and that name, whatever you want to find, you can find. You can give that name.
right. That's there. But warning will filter out first already. So files, you don't find the false there. What you said is correct, but it's not working. That won't work. What you said. If I do give
No, no.
this one,
Yep.
yeah, tell me.
Yep. Now grep -i. Again
Grep
grep
hyphen.
-i. False.
False
Again
is
false. Yes.
already gone. False is the warning is already gone. First filter already removed that.
Just spell false.
Sorry. False, right? Yeah, false is gone already. Because this output already is filtered out on the warning. So only these three you got it as part of it.
Okay.
I think he's saying grep -i.
Uh-huh.
I think it-
Sorry?
someone was saying grep -i warning and grep -i false. I think that's what he said.
No, that won't work.
Just
That won't
what I
work.
understood, that guy is grep -i warning and grep -i false. Is that correct? I'm sorry, who was
No. Two grapes won't work, I guess. Within that,
No, no.
is it so?
Hyphen,
No problem.
hyphen,
Let's continue. I don't want to interrupt this. We
hyphen,
will
I,
do the research after.
I am not getting what you're trying to say. It is just disturbing.
Ravi? Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yeah, now you're clear. Yeah.
So I think someone was trying to saying to you. So sudo cat mongodb log grep -i grep -i warning, okay, and then grep -i, yeah, grep -i false.
False. Okay.
Yeah,
No, it's not working. It won't work that way.
it is
It
that
won't work that way.
pipe, yeah.
Grep I. Yeah.
Okay.
It won't work. You have to give the pipe. Grep to grep, there is a pipe. It is mandatory. So whatever you're giving here, it is filtered out already here. So next filter, whatever is the filter come here, it will filter here. So I didn't check that side.
Use that pipe symbol.
Yeah, just a minute. Grep with multiple filter.
I got that. I'm pinging in the chat.
Oh, you pinged it? Okay. Grep. Oh, yeah. This way. Okay, got it. Grep pattern 1/pipe. Okay. Let's give a try. What is given? So what he's saying is here. Fine. Good thing if it works. It is a new learning for me also if it works. So grep. So first warning or else false, whatever it is. False. Okay, then backslash pipe and then warning, right? It's a good thing if it works. I don't know this.
I think you should remove that double quotes.
Right. I got it. Oh, come on, please. Why it is running? Just a minute. I'll copy paste if it is executing. These quotes I need to take out, right? Okay,
Exactly.
okay. Something good. Okay, I'll keep this example here. I'll give this document everyone. No, this one I'll give it, not all the slides. Okay, this will help. Good question. Yeah, even see, as a DBA, like we work very limited. So whatever I'm discussing, what I do work. So this kind of questions useful and interesting anyway. Yeah. So grep will be used that way, guys. Very useful command to read some, you have a big file, you wanted to look for some words and look at, maybe you wanted to look for only errors in the entire Mongo, nothing else, only errors. So you can go and find it. So what are the errors it is potentially recorded from the Mongo log file? You can focus on that directly and work on it kind of, right? So grep will be used in many ways. PS is a finding the process, nothing else. pf-ef will use it. It'll give you all the process that are running on the OS level, nothing else. Okay, PS is used for that. Then SCP. To run the SCP, I need one more machine actually. In fact, 16 minutes, right? So this I'll leave this ping and SCP for now. Tomorrow I'll pick up. Okay, because I need to do the secure copy programs. SCP means I have to copy files between the machines. In fact. So how do you create the multiple machines with a one given machine also? I'm going to talk about in our classes. We're going to talk about that. Telnet also is something when the Mongo is not connecting, you have to telnet from the source machine. Mongo is connecting on first ping is working, then telnet is working, then you definitely will connect. If you are not connecting, definitely you are giving the wrong password. These are the 3 layers: ping, telnet. If telnet working, you should connect. If it is not connecting, wrong username password. So that way the troubleshooting will go on. DU, the disk usage. If you wanted to know the disk usage in the current directory where you connected, du-h, right? This will tell you the file is 12K. In fact, whatever the file you have here is equivalent size of 12K. The 12 kilobytes, in fact, the size of that file it is giving up to. So disk usage, in fact, du-sh and all that. So if I go to home directory, du-h, so it is giving all the files. There are many parameters with the du anyway. It is giving each file wise. If I wanted to see consolidated, it is 336 MB what I have in this directory. All the files together. 336 MB total altogether. 336 MB. So that way, disk usage, you can find which file is using the most storage, and that file and directory can focus to remove it or move it somewhere or expand it, whatever it is.
Ravi, can we sort that when we are seeing the disk usage based on size?
Sorting you cannot do, I guess. Sorting the disk usage. Good questions actually. Sorting disk usage using du command. Linux. Is it? Good question, huh? Very good question, in fact. Oh, du safe. It is there, it seems. They heard your question. So yeah, you can find by size here. It's sorted out. So I'll keep this here. I'll send this out anyway. Oh, it's not copying here. The heck? Oh, it is copying the top. What? Why it is copying there? Uh-huh. Anyway, I'll copy from here because I executed from here, right? Fine. Save. Uptime when the server is rebooted and all that, right? So clear the screen. Uptime when it was up since last 2 hours 28. Is it so? Maybe, yeah, I just started before the class. 2 hours 28 minutes ago, it is rebooted. Okay. And if you wanted to know uptime -h help, pretty, you'll have different parameters. -p, what it gives. Okay, it is giving 2 hours 48. This is a good thing, right? It is giving in a good way actually. 2 hours 28 minutes ago, the machine got rebooted. And as since uptime, as it says, this is the time when it was rebooted. Since at what time it is 17:551, it is rebooted. The time. So you can go and check it, guys. That's all about it. Uptime. And then top commands will display all the running and free m. free M is going to give you the memory that you have it on the machine and what is used by the process at the moment. This is a free and this is available for usage. And swapping memory. What is a swapping memory? Swapping memory is there in every operating system, in fact. If I go to my machine, basically, maybe, come on. If I go to the properties, not here. Where do I find? Just a minute. I'll go to here, properties, system information. Where do we find that actually? In fact, we can find the PAE, physical address extension. I forgot actually. We can see that somewhere.
Is it not available in desktop versions? Is it available in the server version?
Can you speak? I mean, I didn't get your question. Can you come again?
Might be it is not available desktop version. Is it available?
No, it is available. It is available. I have seen many times. But anyway, I'll check it out. We can see it. We can see it. PA, physical address extension. Every machine will have it. Every single machine managed under under manage. Just a minute. Under manage, not here. Somewhere. I'll check it out. We'll talk about it then. So I'll leave this part. FreeM, we still like to talk about. There are a few things I wanted to talk about for the sake of understanding for all of you. This will be there. A user side I did not cover yet. How do you create a user and how you give the privileges and how the home directories will be created for the user, what he can do within the home directory, outside of home directory, and how do you create the group accounts, how you map the users to the group, and how the privileges will be inherited through the groups to the users. So tomorrow class is very, very important, guys, especially important. Though you are worked on the Unix flavor, still tomorrow class is very helpful for sure. So any questions before I wind up? We're done on the basic command side. And I'm not fully finished yet. Yes, I'll cover tomorrow again. I'll recap this so quickly and then move to the permission side. These two classes are enough to manage the MongoDB and the Unix flavors. Okay, so any questions before I stop the video?